Shake your shake. Haha. That's my review. I don't have a lot of followers on YouTube, but those who are on my YouTube page, they're very new to the work that I've been doing. So people do ask some questions that I may have dealt with it already in on Facebook. So I decided that I was gonna make some of the content I have on Facebook. I'm gonna remake them on YouTube. And the reason that I gotta remake them is that my focus when I started on Facebook was more about where I come from. I'm speaking to Ghanaians from Africa. So I spoke in much of my videos, I speak my local language. And I know when I put it directly on YouTube, many of the people that come on my YouTube page do not understand. So instead of reloading or uploading those same videos onto YouTube again, I've decided that I'm gonna do those videos again, but only in English as best as I can. All right. So I have in 2020, I had a series called the Women series. The Women series. So I had Women series 1 till somewhere. I don't even remember how many there were. Or like 14, I guess. But it was supposed to go out to 20. But when I got to 14, so many issues had come up, and I just felt I had to react to those issues from the Muslim community in my country. And I never went back to do those other videos on the women series. So I have 14 series. I'm going to do them again. Now, the first one is this. You can look at this video. Muhammad raped Safiyya. Muhammad raped Safiyya. Prophet Muhammad raped Safiyya. And look here. How many views? 14.1k views on Facebook. And that's about 2 years ago. Okay, so that's the video I'm going to do right now. All right. So let's go into it. This is a women's series. It's a women's series. How Islam is so beneficial to women and helps women to be great in every Islamic society. Islam is so great. They always tell us how the Prophet was a champion for women's rights. And I'm going to show you how the Prophet was a champion for women's rights. Now, how did Muhammad rape Safiyya? You see, there is this fake sheikh in Ghana, Hafiz, that I've been doing videos about. I went to his page and he told me that I should prove to him that Muhammad raped Safiyya. So it is even good. As I do women's series, Hafiz, watch this video and know how your prophet raped Safiyya. And don't come and ask me again. If you say you're a sheikh, you should know what's in your books. Sunan Abi Dawud, book 20, hadith number 67. Aisha said Safiyya was called after the word Safi, a special portion of the prophet. So, why was Safiyya called Safiyya? Safi, she became what? A special portion of the prophet. It is the prophet's own choice. Safiyya was the prophet's own choice. When you go and get the booty, Safiyya became the part that was the prophet's own part or portion of the booty of the women. Sunan Abi Dawud, the same. Let's continue from book 20. We went to 67. Let's go to 68. Anas bin Malik said, we came to Kaaba. We bestowed the conquest of fortress. The beauty of Safiyya, daughter of Huyay, was mentioned to him, the prophet. Look, So this is how your prophet did it. Now, they went to Kabar, to the tribe of the Jews, and then they went to kill everybody. They took the women in captives, the women and the children. And then Muhammad allowed his men to start raping the women, sharing it among themselves and raping the women. And then, look, it says the beauty of Safiyya, the daughter of Huyay, was mentioned to him. So your prophet was told that Safiyya was a beautiful woman, and your prophet could not hold his instrument inside his pants when he heard that Safiyya was a beautiful woman. So what did your prophet say? Anas bin Malik says, her husband was killed in the battle, and she was a bride, a new woman, a new bride, to be married to that man, and your prophet killed the husband. And the apostle of Allah chose her for himself. He came out with her till we read Safiyya Sabah, where she was purified, she was cohabitated with her. Cohabitation. A prophet cohabitating with somebody's wife that he had taken from war. Hafiz, you say that your prophet didn't rape her? That's the proof right there that your prophet was a rapist, Hafiz. You were asking me, how did your prophet rape Safiyya? This right there, your prophet was a rapist. And how did that happen? When they took Safiyya in the as a booty after the battle. Look, Hadith 69. Anas bin Malik, the same person said, Safiyya fell to Dahir al-Kabi. Dahir al-Kabi, Muhammad's boyfriend. She fell to the apostle of Allah. So Dahir al-Kabi had what? Safiyya. Look, let's get more about this. Sahih al-Bukhari, 4211, book 64, hadith number 251. Now read. The same Anas bin Malik. Anas bin Malik, we arrived at Kabar, and when Allah helped his apostles to open the fort, the beauty of Safiyya bin Huyay bin Akhtar, whose husband had been killed while she was a bride, was mentioned to Allah's apostle. The prophet selected her for himself and set out with her. See how your prophet raped Safiyya. Safiyya became what? And set out with her. When we reached a place called Sidat Sahaba, Safiyya became clean from her menses. So Safiyya was in her menstruations when she was captured. And when she completed her menses, your prophet took her. Hashish was prepared on a small leather mat. Then the prophet said to me, I invite all the people around you. So that was the marriage banquet of the prophet and Safiyya. Look, Hafiz, is this marriage? When we do Amaria, is that how we do Amaria, Hafiz? Look at how Amaria, everybody knows about it. Your prophet did what? Hidden Amaria. Your prophet conducted a fake illegal marriage. But because he is the prophet, nobody can say anything about it. So they prepared a small amount of food and put it on a leather mat, small leather mat. And called the people. They were not at home. They were on a journey. They went to the battle. They were going back on the journey. That's when they did this. How they say that, and the prophet is a mercy to mankind. How merciful is this to Safiyya? that you capture her after killing the husband and killing the father and the tribe people. That same time you've killed the husband. How wicked are you that you kill a woman's husband? And within that same time, you force the woman to marry you. You put food on the leather mat and let people come and invite them to come and eat. And you said you have married her, and then you rape her. All about the merciful, the prophet who was a mercy to mankind. A mercy to mankind. So read. So that was the marriage banquet of the prophet and Safiyya. Then we proceeded toward Medina. So that's it. And see, this is one chamfa sharing women. Look. If you remember the first one, it says Safiyya fell to Dahir. Then she fell to the apostle of Allah. So they were sharing. Muhammad now sees that Safiyya has gone to one of his servants, but the woman is beautiful. So Muhammad said, hey, give me that woman. Look, that is what? Sahih Muslim, 1365C, book 16, hadith number 99. I'm not reading everything. You can read it yourself. But look at some part of it. We took it, Khaybar, by force. These people didn't do anything to the Muslims. They went there and fought the Jews for no reason. They took it by force. They didn't say that the Jews came and fought them or did anything. They themselves went to take Khaybar by force. And there were guarded the prisoners of war. There came Dahir and said, Messenger of Allah, bestow upon me a girl from among the prisoners. So Muhammad goes to kill, raid, make prisoners of war of the women, and the women are there, and his people come to him and they ask that Muhammad gives them what? Some of the women. Listen to it. The mercy of mankind. You see, wherever Islam goes, they go with what? Rape of women. Look in Europe, the raping gangs. It's all from Islam, from their prophet. He said, bestow upon me a girl from among the prisoners. He said, go and get any girl. So the prophet told Dahir, go and get any girl. The prophet is sharing the women of war among his men. Hafiz, what is that? So Dahir, he made a choice for Safiyya, daughter of Huray. After Dahir made this, there came a person to Allah's apostle and said, Allah's apostle, you have bestowed Safiyya bin Huray, the chief of what? Qurayza and Al-Nadir upon Dahir, and she is worthy of you alone only. He said, call him along with her. So now Muhammad, he does not even know the women that his men are going to choose. He's just there. They come and I say, go and take one. Hey, go and take one. Sharing women just like that. That's the prophet who is a mercy for all mankind. So somebody comes to Muhammad and says, hey, the woman you gave to Dahir is an honorable woman, a royal woman from the tribe of these Jews. The woman is worthy of you, Muhammad, because they knew Muhammad loved what? Beautiful women. And he cannot put his thing inside his pants when he sees beautiful women and young girls. So Muhammad calls what? Safiyya and Dahir to come. When Allah's apostle saw, so the prophet saw Safiyya and saw how beautiful she was, and he was like, oh my Allah, How on earth did I allow Dahia to have this beautiful girl? He says, Dahia, leave this woman to me and take any other girl you want. Read it. He said, take any other woman from among the prisoners. So the prophet granted her emancipation. Emancipation from what? From Dahia. Hafiz, that's why I say your prophet raped Safiyya. Emancipation from where? She was not in prison anywhere. She was in prison under your prophet's own care and under your prophet's people's care. And your prophet took her from his own guys, his own servants, his own little boy, his own boyfriend, emancipated her from them, and that emancipation was her bride price. That emancipation was her bride price. Look, and on the way, they embellish her and then send her to the prophet at night. And your prophet, Allah's apostle appeared as a bridegroom in the morning. Your prophet, she was given to your prophet that night, and your prophet came to her in the morning. Just that night, the woman went to your prophet's place. Your prophet started booming her on the way. That's rape. That's how your prophet raped Safiyya. So, Prophet Muhammad raped Safiyya. It was not marriage. Raped Safiyya. Never was it marriage. Look, even the people in the town never knew that the prophet had taken the people in the town did not know that Safiyya had been married to a prophet. This is what? Kidnapping. The woman was forcibly married to the prophet, and her only dowry was her freedom from what? Slavery from the Muslims themselves. Sahih al-Bukhari 33 book 33 hadith number 13. So look at this. The people living in town didn't know that your prophet had married Safiyya. Wait. Sahih al-Bukhari 2038, book 33, hadith number 13. Narrated Ali bin al-Hussein from Safiyya's prophet's wife. The wives of the prophet were in the mosque, and then they departed. And the prophet said to Safiyya bin Huyay, don't hurry up, for I shall accompany you. So when they came, the prophet wanted to accompany Safiyya, and her dwelling was in the house of Usama. The prophet went out, and in the meantime, two Ansari men met him, and they looked at the prophet and passed by. When they looked at the prophet, look, two Ansari men looked at the prophet with Safiyya, and in their mind, oh, this is not your wife. How did you get this woman? And the prophet, the people didn't even open their mouth to say it. But the way they looked at the prophet knew that the people were thinking something evil about him. So look here. passed by, the prophet said to them, "Come here. She is my wife. She is my wife, Safiyya bin Huyay." So it's like, who is the prophet walking with a woman that he is not married to? And the prophet is scared. He is my wife. They reply, "Subhanallah. Like, we don't think evil about you. Oh, Allah's apostle. We never expect anything bad from you." Then look at the prophet says what? The prophet replied, "Satan circulates in the human being as blood circulates in the body. And I was afraid lest Satan might insert an evil thought in your mind." What evil thought? You know what you're doing is wrong. So even if somebody looks at you, just somebody walking by you with the woman and looks at you, you know your own conscience tells you that what you're doing is evil and people are thinking evil of you. So he's using his authority to straighten things right. That's how Safiyya was what? Taken and raped. Taken and raped. Your prophet did that, and your prophet went to sleep with her. That's the final thing I would bring to you. The History of Atterbury, Volume 39, page 185. Listen. Safiyya had been married to Salam Mishkam al-Qurazi, who divorced her, whereupon she was married to Kinana bin Arabi bin Abba Hugay al-Nadir. The latter was killed in the Battle of Khabar, leaving her a widow. So look, this History of Atterbury is in line with the hadith I've given to you. Hafiz, ignorant fake sheikh. Listen to it. How your prophet raped Safiyya. Look. While and see. So, okay. While the prophet was lying with Safiyya, Abu Ayyub stayed the night at his door because the prophet had gone to take Safiyya, married her, and by force. And your prophet was in the room with Safiyya, raping her that night. So Abu Ayyub was afraid that somebody might come to kill what? Your prophet for raping or sleeping with Safiyya that night, or that Safiyya might even kill your prophet. So Abu Ayyub took a sword. Look, while your prophet was lying with Safiyya, Abu Ayyub stayed the night at his door. Even the prophet didn't know that Abu Ayyub has come to stay at the door. It's like a gang. You see, gang members, their gang leader is raping a woman. So one of the gang members takes a sword to come and protect their leader. Gang, that's your prophet. When he saw the prophet in the morning, he said, God is the greatest. Like Allahu Akbar. You see, that's what they say. Allahu Akbar when they are killing. Allahu Akbar when they are what? Raping people. Allahu Akbar and they are slaughtering somebody's throat. Allahu Akbar. Every evil they do. Allahu Akbar. He had a sword with him. He said to the prophet, "O messenger of God." Listen to what Ayub told the prophet. This young woman has just been married and you killed her father, her brother, and her husband. Prophet, you killed this woman's what? Father. You killed this woman's husband. You killed this woman's what? Husband. So I don't trust that a woman like this will not harm you. I did not trust her not to harm you. The prophet laughed and said, "Good." Amina bin Er said, "I was one of the women who led Safiyya as a bride to the prophet. I heard her say, I was not even 17, or I was just 17, the night I entered the prophet's room. You see, your prophet is always up to raping what? Teenagers. Teenagers. You see, teenage pregnancy is so rampant in my country, in the northern part of Ghana, because of the prophet of Islam. Always was sleeping with what? Teenage girls, raping children, sleeping with children. So that's what they would do. The mercy of God to all mankind, raping teenagers. Safiyya said, I was just 17 years old, or not even 17 years old. And Ayub was scared that the woman might do something to your prophet. If it was marriage, if she was duly married, why will Ayub be scared that the woman might kill your prophet? Ayub knew that it was not marriage. Ayub knew that this is forced marriage. This is rape. You've killed the brother, you've killed the father, and you've killed the husband. And now, at the same few days after, you have taken her and you are raping her. The woman might harm you. You call this a prophet? Your prophet raped Safiyya. Shake your shake. Share this with Hafiz and let him know. He asked me a question. How did Muhammad rape Safiyya? This is how your prophet raped Safiyya.